Welcome back, my friend. Let's get into the logical operators in Python script. Logical operators basically mean checking if values are true or false. So this will be easier to explain with code. In the comparison operators lesson, the previous lesson, I showed you how we use greater than equals, equal to, etc. with numerical values. But there are a few other Boolean operators, logical operators, we can use with our scripts. So for example, let's say we want to detect a bearish engulfing candle. For that, I'm going to detect a very simple bearish engulfing candle. We're just going to check, is the current bar's closing price less than or equal to its previous opening price, the previous bar's opening price, and is the previous bar's closing price greater than its open? So was the previous bar bullish? This will detect very simple engulfing candles. It will also detect gap candles as engulfing candles, but we'll cover advanced candlestick pattern detection and how to optimize your pattern detection in a different lesson. This is just to show you the AND operator, the logical operators. So basically, this code here combines two conditional operator checks using the AND keyword. So we're checking, is the current bar's closing price less than or equal to its previous bar's opening price? And is the previous bar's closing price greater than its opening price? So do we have a bar that closes lower than the previous bar's open? And was the previous bar bullish? That gives us a bearish engulfing candle. So here, if I type plot shape, bearish EC, and save the script, now we get an X drawing whenever a bearish engulfing candle is detected. This might be easy to see if I set overlay to true and add this back to my chart. So now you can see we're detecting several bearish engulfing candles here, and we're doing that by combining two conditional checks using the AND function. So we have a few to work with here. We have AND, we have OR, and we have NOT. So AND will combine two conditions, OR will check if either are true, and NOT will return true if the value is false. So let me show you a few examples here. Let's say we only want to detect bearish engulfing candles that are a swing high. So their own high is the highest high over recent price action. To do that, I can create a new variable here called swing high is set to, and then we can check, is the current bar's high equal to the ta.highest? This function takes up to two parameters. If we only give it one parameter, that is the look back period to look for highs, candle highs. So let's do that here. Let's just put in 5. So this will say swing high will be set to true only if the current bar's high is equal to the highest high over the past 5 bars. Now we can also specify the price source. So by default, this is scanning for candle highs. Since it's a technical analysis, TA is short for technical analysis library, inbuilt library or namespace, dot highest, and then we are scanning the past 5 candles highs. If we wanted to, we could change this to low. So this would get the highest low over the past 5 bars. And this takes any price source, open, high, low, close. For now, we'll leave it as high. And then what we can do is we can say, only plot this shape onto our chart if we have a bearish engulfing candle pattern and that pattern is a swing high. So if both of these variables are true, then we will draw our X's. So let's save the script, and there we go. All of these engulfing candles have now been ignored by the script because they weren't swing highs, except for this one here. We zoom in, this candle is the highest high over the past 5 bars, and it's a bearish engulfing candle, and so we draw our shape. It's pretty simple to understand, but it will take some practice to get familiar with these keywords and how they work, especially the order of precedence, which we'll get to in a different lesson. For example, I was working on a script yesterday where I was checking a value, and then I said, and another value or a different value. So what my script was doing was checking if this was true or this was true, when really what I wanted it to do was check if this was true and either of these were true. But the way I'd written it, the way you see it here, was giving me the wrong result on my chart. What I needed to do was add parentheses around these last two to join them into one Boolean. And so this would say, is the current bar the highest high of the past 5 bars? And is X true or is Y true? And if both of these conditions were true, then my variable would be set to true. But we'll cover operator precedence in a different lesson because this applies to mathematical formulas as well as logical operations. And so I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information in this lesson, so we'll just skip over that for now. We'll come back to that later and explore that in more detail. But the final thing I want to show you here is the not operator. So let's say we want to plot bearish engulfing candles that are not a swing high. So we want to ignore these candlestick patterns and detect all the other patterns which are not swing highs. To do that, we can use the not operator. So now we're saying plot a shape if we have a bearish engulfing candle pattern and that pattern is not a swing high. Or in other words, plot a shape if bearish EC is true and swing high is not true. So let me save the script. This setup will go away. And now all of these other setups are being drawn onto the chart. And only the swing high engulfing candles are being ignored because we are only drawing this if they are not a swing high. So that is how we use the and, the or, and the not logical operators in our scripts. This lesson is short because we will be using these operators extremely frequently in our scripts, and so there'll be plenty of practical examples coming up in the course soon. So don't worry if any of this was confusing to you. You will understand it before too long. If you're new to programming, this can take a little while to wrap your head around and for it to become a habit that you don't need to think about. But don't worry, it won't be long before that happens because we will be using logical operators and comparative operators like these very, very frequently in our scripts. So you'll see plenty of practical, intuitive examples of how this works in the lessons to come. But that'll do it for this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.